Hello and welcome to today's Dalal Street Week Ahead video. Now in today's video we'll be taking a look at what events will be affecting our markets this week and how it will affect the Nifty, Bank Nifty, Midcap and all. After which we'll take a keen look at three stocks: Canara Bank, Mahindra Mahindra and HDFC Bank. I'll look at them in that successive order and I'll look at them in perspective of what equity traders should do with them plus what option traders should do with them. This week the opportunities for both parties in most of these stocks, so it's something which everyone should definitely watch until the end for. Now coming to the market news, first news will be affecting us is that auto sales data is going to come out, and the auto sales data I believe for the two-wheeler segment will still be positive or flat, but the four-wheeler segment should see a significant drop in auto sales in August, simply due to the fact that everyone is going to wait for the new GST rates to come up, as it's been coming that above a certain amount of engine capacity and all will be a higher GST, but for the smaller engines and all there will be a lower GST rate. So that has naturally going to completely hamper auto sales. I only think the guys who want to buy more expensive cars will have gone ahead and booked, but the ones who are looking at, let's say, 10 to 15 lakh cars, they will end up going in waiting for the GST rate cuts to come. Plus there's also the issue of the ethanol blending, which everyone has openly seen that it has been done to benefit two ministerial families, and once more clarity comes on that, then I think auto sales will again start picking up. Right now there's an issue that people are not getting the mileage, and in the Indian auto markets mileage seems to be the most important factor, so that getting affected naturally hampers the sector. So that's one thing that will be affecting the headline indices, Nifty, Sensex. Naturally won't affect the Bank Nifty. The second thing which I believe will affect this trading week is Monday is a market holiday for the American markets. So that will naturally cause, number one, a bit of a dampening effect to come, and Tuesday will have a stronger reaction in terms of market movement than we'll have on Monday most likely. So that's another factor. And then the third is the main factor, which I think is the GST meeting, which is happening 3rd to 4th, and I think that's something which will definitely cause a lot of initial positive sentiment to come into the market, after which if they deliver what they said, then it will sort of move up a bit more and then stagnate. If they don't deliver, then they'll literally cause a market crash. So the GST rate cut meeting, if they do not mention the rate cuts now, then it's going to be very bad for our markets. If they mention it, it's naturally going to be positive, but the upside will be limited to, let's say, the high which you have seen of late, but nothing extraordinary according to me. So that is really it on the news factors and how it will affect the indices. As I said, there will be positivity going towards the GST meeting, and if they satisfy that positivity, well and good, will move up a bit more and then stagnate. If they do not satisfy that positivity, it will cause a crash. So everything is mostly going to depend on that. I am not talking much about the China-US meeting, China-India meeting, because so far what's coming out of that is nothing really significant. They're talking about visas, they're talking about things which are not really the market really does not worry much about. There is no positive significant financial developments. A lot of the disputes on the borders and everything, there's nothing significant that is going on. It's more like the usual whiff-waff that we have come used to. Now let's move on to the stocks, and as I said, we'll first look at Canara Bank, after which we'll look at Mahindra Mahindra, and then we'll take a look at HDFC Bank. Now Canara Bank is one I am most likely going to be selling P's in this week. Why I say that? If we look at Canara Bank has been sort of in a big box range from quite some time. I selected the wrong one now. Canara Bank has been in sort of a box range for quite some time, and we're going to have to see if it, number one, starts now trending upwards. It is approaching a key support zone. It has 102.5 is a very important support, then 100 rupees is a very important support. So how I'm going to trade it most likely, I'm going to look at it from an equity plus PE seller perspective. If I see on Monday we are ending up showing some positivity at this point, then I'm most likely going to go and sell puts of 102 and below. If I want to go aggressive, I'll go 104 and below. But at the same time, I'm looking at it in terms of an equity buy, because I'm bullish on Canara Bank for only one reason. I think they've been doing things at the right time. Even if you look at one of the things that have been a thorn in people's sides, the minimum balance issue, I think Canara Bank was the first bank that cancelled it. So Canara Bank has been doing a lot of developments that are positive for them in the medium term. So I see we are holding this support here, then I most likely will definitely sell P's of September series, so basically expecting it to stay above this zone, and at the same time might buy it as an equity trade for a medium term, not a short term. This won't be for 1-2 weeks, it will be for some time. This is Canara Bank, as I said. I think they're doing all the right things, and out of all the PSUs, I believe they're the brightest star right now in terms of the PSU banking sector. So due to that, as I said, 102 and below PE cells, I'll enter if we form a base here. If we break this, then Canara Bank is in trouble. But most likely I will still keep watching it for an entry on the equity front. On the other hand, if we hold this, then first target is 107.5 and the second is 110. I have not given above that. As above that, once we reach, I will end up sharing fresh price targets for it at that moment. Now next is Mahindra and Mahindra. Now according to me, Mahindra, yes, it has been having a bad fall this past couple of days, as it has basically gone down like a spear. But I believe it's approaching a very crucial support zone between 3140 and 3175. Now if Mahindra's auto numbers come out flat, then it will end up holding this support zone, and this is again an opportunity to sell P's below 3140 and buy equities for a short term, let's say 1-2 weeks maximum. On the other hand, if it breaks the support between 3140 and 3175, then it's going down to 3150. So how am I personally going to trade Mahindra? Now Mahindra, the reason I've chosen to focus on it instead of focusing on Tata Motors or something is Mahindra, number one, if there's a GST rate cut, naturally it will help them. Number two, they're also heavily into the diesel sector. With the ethanol blending issue coming up, if Mahindra gets the rate cut support, then this stock can hold this support zone and bounce up. And even if it breaks 3140, it can go to 3050 and then hold that zone and start pushing up. So Mahindra is another one I'm looking at in terms of equity plus options. If it holds 3140 to 3175, I will only enter P cells in it, and with the aim that it stays above that, as I will earn my decay. If I see it is holding that with a bullish price confirmation, and I see this black line in the indicator is turning upwards, then I'll also consider equity for it. Otherwise, I'll wait for it to at some point base out and enter then. So as I said, my trading plan is pretty simple. Above 3140 I'm bullish, below 3140 I am just going to leave it on the side and let's see if it holds 3050. On the other hand, on the upside, if it holds this and goes up, if it breaks 3240 to 3290, then a big move will be coming to 3380 and above that also. So that's why I said I'm looking at Mahindra short term, let's say 1-2 weeks buy, and also PE sell in the coming sessions. Now next I'm taking a look at HDFC Bank. Now I've adjusted HDFC Bank to the bonus, that's why you're not seeing a large thing. I've adjusted to the bonus prices. Now when I look at HDFC Bank, now it was holding up here due to the bonus issue, and once the bonus issue ended, it just dropped like a hot potato. Now the reason I've again chosen to look at HDFC Bank instead of looking at other banking stocks like there's ICICI, there's all, that ICICI is sort of, by that thing they did about the minimum balance, they will sort of chase away the smaller account holders who will be taking many EMIs and all. But HDFC Bank, it's been known for its bad service of late and everything. But I think if the GST rate cut comes, it's going to be the bank that's going to benefit the most in terms of that. Apart from something like Bajaj, but that's not technically in the same space in terms of the size and the amount of services available. So according to me, if HDFC Bank holds 940 to 948, then I'm going to consider a P sell in it of below this. If it breaks this, then I'm not going to bother with it. I'm going to let it go down, and I'll share supports for it then, as it will basically end up opening up a can of worms for it on the weekly chart, which will not be a big positive for it in the coming sessions. So my trading plan for HDFC Bank, as long as it's between 970 and 940, this is a box range, you're not going to get anywhere. But if it holds this zone with a bullish price action, and my indicators also do turn bullish, then I'll sell P's below it for the September series. Equity, I'm not considering HDFC Bank, because this is HDFC Bank is something, yes, it will benefit from this, it will go up, then it will just stagnate. So P cells will naturally do better. Will I sell C's at any point? Only if we rise to this points. Otherwise, I do not want to enter C cells right now, because it will try to form a bottom, and if the rate cut comes, then it will spike up and it will wipe out my C cells. So my only plan in this is on the option side to sell P's if it holds a support zone, and that is it. So an overview, Canara and M&M, I'm looking at it from equity plus options trading. Both HDFC is purely going to be options trading for me. So that's it for today's video. If you liked it, then hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell. Thank you.